everybody, welcome back to another educational bird video to teach you how to care better for your birds. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about how to entertain a Quaker parrot. Quaker parrots by nature are one of the clingiest parrots you can probably buy, and like any parrot, they require a lot of socialization and time with them. But not everybody has the entire day or time to spend with them, which is totally normal because even I go out from time to time and I do my own things. When you leave the house, you don't want them to be kind of getting depressed or getting bored, because let me just tell you, this species of parrots get bored so quickly, and you need to be kind of changing up what they do in order to keep them entertained and keep them, their mind stimulated, because they're such intellectual parrot species to be a smaller parakeet parrot species that they do require a lot of mental stimulation. And with this, you as well want to teach them a bit of independence. And a lot of people see my videos and they ask me, like, how is your parrot like not as clingy as mine? How do you teach them to be independent? And well, I'm going to be going over this as well on how I train them to be independent, because it's something that you have to train them and accustom them to be. So first, let's go over the independence thing since we're talking about it, and it's kind of going to throw into the activities that you can put for your Quaker to do. So the way I taught my Quakers to be independent is that with the activities that I have for them, I slowly let them be by themselves with the activities in the room for an hour, then 2 hours, then 3 hours, and then 4 hours. And you have to just extend it and allow them to get comfortable with being by themselves. And you start extending it once you get comfortable with the time frame that you gave them. And then you extend it a bit more. And then this teaches them to be independent and as well to play with the toys. Now, the first bit when you are first going to teach them this independence is that you do want to be there and first let them be accustomed to these toys before leaving them alone with it, because if you don't kind of show them around with the toys, then they're not going to, even bother playing with them and just start screaming for you. And if you guys have seen my video on how to introduce your bird to anything new, which I'll just go over the basics of what that video is, you're going to want to kind of play with all the new activities and show them that it's not scary if they are scared of it. And them seeing you, who they are bonded with, and playing with these things, they're gonna start to approach it slowly, and then you have to give them that time to explore and start playing with it themselves. And once you see that they're starting to interact and be more playful with what you're giving them, then you can start the leaving alone time with the hours. So let's go over some fun activities that you can do with your Quaker parrots. So the first one is a foraging tray. Quaker parrots by nature are foraging birds that forage on the floor. A foraging tray is perfect to put on the floor, and then basically what it is that you cover it with some confetti, paper, whatever it is, and it basically, you put treats, whether it's seeds, it's nuts, it's nutriberries, whatever it is that they tend to like. You just put it within the tray and you cover it up with like confetti, and they have to go looking for their treats. This not only gets their mind, stimulated, but it also makes them work for the treats that they want. Avoid newspaper, because newspaper ink is pretty toxic. And if you guys don't have a tray, then you guys can also use a cardboard box and then just cut it to be more shallow. Show them that I'm foraging for it as well, and they're gonna come and approach it, and they're gonna come and see that I'm looking for treats, and then I'm gonna pull out the treats and show them that, look, there's treats here, and then I'm gonna kind of put it back and keep foraging until they come and approach it and they try to do it themselves. Don't expect your bird to just come up and like play with it themselves immediately, because a lot of them won't do that. A lot of them are pretty afraid of most things. But basically what you want to do is that this is going to be a copy of what it is for them to forage within grass for food that they normally do in the wild. The second thing to entertain your Quaker is that Quakers are one of the few parrots that build nests, aside from lovebirds. I think those are the only two parrot species, correct me if I'm wrong, that build their own nest, and they're year-round nesting birds. You guys probably have seen that I have a box for them. Also, Kiwi is very stimulated with that box because he goes and looks for items to fill that little box with, and he tries to like kind of continue to build the nest. So you guys can either give them a box like this, hang it from the ceiling, kind of like a nest, or you guys can give them like just a cardboard box. Some people just put it on top of a table and their birds go in it. Whatever works for you guys. Just keep in mind at first they might get a little bit territorial over it. I do have a video on dealing with territorialism with Quaker Parrots. You guys can have what I have where, you know, he's not going to attack me because I get near it or I'm in the same room, and he's very comfortable with me being near it. So you do want to just avoid any extra issues with your Quaker Parrot. But if you guys can get small little twigs or sticks, or as well you guys can use seagrass, you know, like strings or rattan balls or rattan string, anything like that, or even the confetti paper that's going to be in the foraging tray. For some reason Quakers love wooden sticks particularly, and so just make sure that the wood is safe. I will leave a link down below of all the safe woods that you guys can use. If you do go out and you find it, then please make sure that the twig is inspected, that it doesn't have any mold, it doesn't have any fungus, it doesn't have any bugs on it. Another great idea, and because like I said they forage a lot, is that I have this large basket filled with various toys that they go in and they look for, and that they choose out what they want to play with. Now a lot of people put toys inside their cage and they kind of just have that idea that you just switch them out or just turn them around. But I actually find that this doesn't really work with Quaker Parrots. They need to like forage and look for things to play with, and they actually enjoy this a lot more. And for some reason, Quakers love stealing things. So if you have a Quaker that, you know, steals your pen, then just make sure to have some pens and you pull out the ink and you can just leave it for them, and then they're gonna think they're so funny, like stealing your pen and running away from it, but in reality you just made it safe for them to actually do this. As well, for some reason Quakers love utensils, and if you guys have seen any videos, for some reason they love grabbing knives. So what I did is that I went to the kids section and I got them these small little fake plastic utensils, and they kind of look like this, and they love stealing it, especially the fake knives for whatever reason, even though it's a fork and spoon. Other fun toys that you can put in there are rattan balls, like I said, seagrass. You can put them little balls with bells inside. I do find that you can really entertain them with a lot of random toys from the dollar store. Like to steal things and run away with them and think they're so funny doing it. So just let them do that in a safe manner, because they're never gonna stop. That's just kind of their personality. As well, if you guys have mini brands in your area, I bought mini brands for them and they just love it because they think that they're stealing basically food from me, and they get entertained with it for a really long time as they run away with their little like sauce bottle or whatever. And it's really cute and funny to watch them do this, and they think that they have stolen your sauce bottle or something. Keep in mind, a lot of the things I'm saying are things that are outside of their cage and they have to kind of be in the room to do. So if you guys have not seen my video on how to keep a room safe for free roaming birds, like I have them out, my whole room is filled with activities for them because they need to be stimulated that way. A Quaker Parrot cannot just stay in a cage. They're gonna get bored, they're gonna get frustrated, they might start plucking, they might start just screaming or getting frustrated. So it's really good if you guys are able to either secure your room, have their own bird room, kind of mold and shape the whole room to have activities for them to have, and have their cage there and their food. And like I said, make sure it has big windows, sunlight is coming in. If you really want to spoil them like I do, they have their own TV where you play movies for them or play music for them. Quaker Parrots need to be kind of roaming around, and I do agree that most parrots need to be roaming around. It shouldn't just be Quakers, it should be all parrots. But if you guys are unable to do this, I understand. You guys have to be home for them to be out. But the whole point of this is to teach them that independence so they're not so clingy, because when you do come home, they do want your attention. Even me, who is home 24/7, they'll have been taught to the point of independence where they're not so clingy with me, and they'll have times where they're with me and they'll have times where they go out and do their own thing on the floor, and they'll just be exploring. He will be building his little cage. Lusa will be stealing like toys from the box, and they're just entertained. And then the last thing, which does apply to most parrots, is that cardboard. Just get them cardboard and they will chew out their anger on cardboard. So I have some cardboard on the tree, but that one's mostly enjoyed by Mango. And then I have some cardboard on the floor or like a little box, and they just gnaw at it with all the anger in the world. And it is another great way for them to be entertained, because they're just entertained with the cardboard for a while because they're just so mad at it for whatever reason. Oh, and the last one that I can recommend, but this is very dependable because they might get very territorial or they might just stay there. I like to play with them under the bed, and sometimes they'll just go under the bed by themselves, like under the bed frame, and they'll think they're so funny and they'll start laughing underneath the bed, and they think that they've like, you know, taken over a little area of my room. You can or can't do this depending how you feel about it, depending on the personality of your Quaker parrot, because like I said, every single Quaker is different. So take that at a grain of salt. This is very dependable. It's not something I 100% recommend, but something that you can try if you have a bed frame that has like underneath it's empty and they can go under safely. But yeah, those were my recommendations for toys and entertainment that you guys can do. I hope the independence explanation was clear enough. Please let me know in the comments below if you need clarification for anything. DM me if you guys need help specifically for any questions, and I will get back to you guys almost immediately. Check out the links down below of all our social medias, as well as our Etsy shop where we sell stickers, keychains, art prints, custom wallpapers, and so many other things. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe if you want to see more of us, and we will see you guys next time. Bye bye.